I'm Dr. Amanda Gummer. I'm the CEO of Fundamentally Children, founder of the Good Play Guide, and chair of the Association of Play Industries.
What inspired you to help children?
I guess I was one of the lucky ones. I grew up in a very playful household. My parents were always up for a game. My dad used to sell toys. My grandparents were great fun and made a game out of lots of household chores and stuff. My mum took a Mary Poppins approach and tried to make jobs into fun things to do. And I have seen the way that play has helped children in lots of different areas of my life. And then when I studied psychology and was working in a women's refuge as a volunteer, and was seeing how the kids were affected and the power of play for helping them, as well as kids in care and all this sort of stuff, I realised that I really did believe in the power of play, and decided that was where I wanted to spend my life.
Yeah, how important is play for kids' mental health?
Oh, it's hugely, hugely important. I think play is important for all areas of development, but mental health is a particular one that play can really help children manage. It helps them learn to identify their feelings, learn to manage their feelings, and correctly attribute their feelings to where those feelings have come from. It helps them develop skills like empathy. It helps them form friendships and create those mutually rewarding relationships that help foster positive mental health. Their social and emotional well-being is absolutely nurtured through play, and imaginative role play and small world play, even sort of the problem solving stuff like building blocks or magnetars, those kind of things where you're building things and learning to persevere, learning resilience when things don't go quite your way, that kind of stuff, all really powerful for children's mental health.
So can you tell me about your organization?
Sure. So Fundamentally Children is a team of experts in child development and play. We're based in the UK. We're headquartered in the UK. We have associates in the US and around the world. And we all believe in the power of play, and we all believe that helping organisations and brands and governments and educators to really embrace play and provide children with opportunities to play well. We have a model called the balanced play pyramid, and within that you can plot any play activity, because you look at the three sides of the pyramid: the what they're playing, the who they're playing with, and where they're playing. And you need a balance of all of those things in terms of how active it is, how passive it is, how social it is, whether it's social, solitary, whether it's challenging or comforting. All of those things can be found within this balanced play pyramid, and giving children the opportunities to play freely and choose whether they're in the mood for a challenge, or whether they need something that's going to help them feel a bit safer and comforted, or whether whether they want to go and play with their friends, or whether they want some time on their own for self-reflection and sort of introversion. That's all part of play, and it's so important that I think that the organisation, we're a commercial organisation, but we are dedicated to helping people understand children and how they play, so that we can serve them better. Because as adults, I think we're letting our kids down to some extent, and I think we need to make sure that they're getting good quality content, good quality toys, good quality apps and games, and having that healthy, balanced play diet. And anything that we can do as an organisation to help other brands and companies do better for children, that's what I get up for in the morning.
You touched on it a little bit, but I'm curious about apps and technology. How can people enjoy it without going overboard?
Sure. So I'll go back to the idea of a balanced play diet. In the same way that you balance your children's healthy food intake, you don't let them eat chips and chocolate all day, every day. You
Right.
need to do the same with their leisure time. And the superfoods of the play diet are the active, social, imaginative, free, child-led play. So going outside, playing with friends, making up games, building dens, whatever it is, absolutely brilliant. Teaches children a whole load of skills. And in the same way that if they wanted to have more broccoli and you had more broccoli, you'd let them have it. If they want more of that kind of activities, it's very difficult to get too much of that. The sweets and the treats of the play diet are the solitary, sedentary, passive things. So that's the stuff where kids are just sat on their own, playing something that's fairly mindless, without really an awful lot of brain power, without much interaction. They're not moving, they're not playing with friends, they're just on their sofas or in their bedrooms, and they're just playing on their own. That's the stuff that is fine for a few minutes to just kind of chill out, but it can be addictive, and it is something that we do need to monitor. But there are a lot of things in between those things. So apps and games can teach children a range of really important skills. Apps particularly can help children who struggle to learn in the classroom. They can help them access a lot of educational content. A lot of games have a social element in it now, things like Minecraft, where kids can play with their friends and be creative. So understanding where the tech is in the balanced play pyramid and what it's doing for your kids is the first stage, but making sure that tech is here to stay. We're living in an increasingly digital world, and embracing it and maximizing the positives whilst minimizing the harms I think is the way forward. And I think that model of balance can be really helpful for parents when they're trying to sort of set limits on screen time and understand what their kids are doing online.
Can you tell me about your good toy guide?
Yeah, so the Good Play Guide is a website.
Guide, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It started off as Good Toy Guide back in the day, but we've widened the remit. So the Good Play Guide is goodplayguide.com is the website. And we review products, so toys and games and apps, and we review them with children so that we can identify how children engage with them, because it doesn't matter how educational or beneficial a toy or an app is. If kids don't enjoy it, they're not going to play with it. So it has to be fun first, but then what else are they getting from it? So we look at the skills developed, the ease of use, and the fun factor. We rate all these games and toys accordingly. We pass them by experts who put their opinions in, and you end up with a curated guide for parents to find really great toys and apps and games and educational stuff that they can use to help when they're choosing stuff for their kids, and help if you've got problems with I don't know, maybe your child lacking confidence, or maybe that they're struggling to learn to read. You can go on there and you can ask the question of, what can I, find me some toys to help my kids learn to read. That's all on there. But it's about using play as a mechanism, really. And there's an awful lot of content on there, lots of articles and videos on how to help your kids thrive in a much more playful way. I actually believe that if families were more playful, parents would be less stressed, everybody would be happier, communication would be better, and everybody would feel a bit more bonded.
I know for me growing up, I played with action figures. I had so many to create my own world. So it helped me be creative. So, how can play help someone create tools for the future?
Yeah, so I think now more than ever, we need to equip our kids with skills for a future that we can't predict. So right. We have on Good Play Guide, we have our own accreditation, which is Good Play Guide accreditation, but we're also the independent accreditors for MESH Helps. So mental, emotional, social health, MESH, meshhelps.org is the organisation, and it's about building resilience. And I think the 8 pillars that underpin a MESH accreditation are some of the skills that we need to teach our children so that they can be creative, problem solve, communicate, do all those things, build their resilience to manage an increasingly uncertain world. So I think play has all of those opportunities, and different types of play promote different skills. So it's important to get that balance.
So it's the start of the school year, and there is a lot of anxiety and stress, not only for kids, but for parents. So, how can kids and parents, use play to help relieve some anxiety?
So we've just done a big piece of research on school readiness. So this is for kids starting school for the first time. And we found that play, again, a really powerful tool, whether it's role playing your classroom, letting the kids be the teachers is a really powerful thing, and letting the parents be the pupils and having the kids role play that classroom setting, that can be really powerful. Playing with dolls that you dress and undress so that the kids get more confident at getting themselves ready and able to do their coat up and tie their shoes, that can be really helpful. Communication, turn-taking games, board games where you have to take turns and teach those social skills, all really powerful. So on goodplayguide.com, you've got a whole section there on school readiness. But if the parents are anxious, it feeds down into the kids. The kids pick that up. So it's worth taking a bit of time as a parent and getting that support from your partner or your friends and family to understand where that anxiety is coming from. Are you worried that your kids are going to get bullied? Are you worried about juggling work and school and homework and pick-up times and all the rest of it? Where is your anxiety coming from? Try and deal with that so that you don't pass it on to the kids, because anxiety is contagious.
What are some of the things you enjoy playing?
Well, I grew up playing all sorts of games, and I still love playing games. My current favourite board game is Ticket to Ride. I love that. I like Confidence as well. That's a good game. I think Dobble is a intergenerational masterpiece. I think Dobble's brilliant, and then a ball and a pack of cards. So anything where you can make up so many games with kids if you just have a ball, and if you're indoors and you have a pack of cards, again, so many different games you can play depending on the age of the children and how many of them are there and how long you've got. So easy to keep kids occupied. You don't need to go out and spend hundreds of pounds or hundreds of dollars to keep the kids entertained, but just making those everyday activities more playful is absolutely powerful.
What advice would you give students and uh, parents about this new school year?
So I think curiosity is key. So stay curious, figure out why things are happening. And I think, again, in the world we're living in, that critical thinking and the questioning and the reasoning and analysis, all of that stuff, really important skills. So, go in with that kind of, don't lose that innocent wonder that young children have, and try and stay curious. Don't be afraid to ask why. Challenge, if you don't understand something, ask the questions, challenge the stuff you're being told, and make sure that you take responsibility for your own learning, because that's what we want children to do. We don't want them to be learning stuff to pass a test and then forget about it. We want them to be learning important skills that will set them up for life. And the way to do that is to make it fun.
Where do you want to see your mission in the next few years?
Well, I would like to see everybody playing more. I would like to see the Good Play Guide in every country. I would like to see companies taking a much more sort of child-first approach to developing stuff for kids. And I would like to see governments prioritising play in and out of schools.
How can people reach out and learn more?
So I'm on LinkedIn. So Amanda Gummer on LinkedIn. The advantages of having an unusual surname is I'm not one of a million Jane Does. So LinkedIn is probably the best, but fundamentallychildren.com is the company website, and goodplayguide.com is the Good Play Guide. And if you follow us on social media, it's a lot of the Good Play Guide stuff is on social media. So Twitter, less so Twitter, but more Facebook, Instagram, bit of TikTok, and that's all just at Good Play Guide.